Thank you for tuning in. This episode is 2 parts, filled with lots of great conversations. Hope you enjoy, and please join us for part 2.
The Joker took the best of us and tore him down. People will lose hope.
They won't. They must never know what he did.
5 dead. 2 of them cops. You can't sweep that up.
But the Joker cannot win. Gotham needs its true hero.
No!
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I can do those things because I'm not a hero. Not like Dent. I killed those people. That's what I can be.
No, you can't. You're not.
I'm whatever Gotham needs me to be. Call it in.
Hello and welcome to Field of Geeks, episode 75. I'm Josh.
I'm Mitch.
You were just hearing the great Kevin Conroy reading the Dark Knight speech. This is a Nerdist Talkin' Tunes segment they do. They've had the Ninja Turtles on recently. The guys who voiced the Ninja Turtles back in the 80s, 90s.
Yep.
They were doing a clip from the Seinfeld episode where George was caught masturbating by his mom. It's pretty funny. So anyway, I just thought I'd play that because that's a lot of people are really digging that clip right now of Kevin Conroy reading that classic speech. Today's show, we have a lot to talk about. We're going to be talking Josh Brolin's Cable, Judge Dredd Mega City 1, Marvel Disney Netflix deal, Hellboy Death Wish trailer, Venom, Blade Runner 2049, and of course much more. Also, I will review Dunkirk. I'll try to do it spoiler free. We did win the war. That's the big spoiler, I guess I'll say there. But first, I'd like to introduce a special guest. Please welcome Juan.
Hey, everybody. I'm excited.
All right.
I really am super excited. I'm like geeked up. No pun intended. I'm like really hyped up.
That's okay. Hey, we welcome that. So yeah, I've been wanting to have you on for a while, and yeah, glad we finally got it to happen. Tell us about some of your interests and plug anything you wish. I know that you are a musician and a martial artist, so I'll just throw that at you.
I guess if you want to cover those points, done music for a long time. I'm like summing it up. I was in a rock band and traveled the country. Basically did everything you can do minus the money.
Yeah.
Minus the money and the big fame.
Right.
The sex, drugs, and rock and roll, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. But I had a ball with that. As a martial artist, because I did martial arts as a child. Once I moved to Los Angeles, because I spent a great deal of time in Los Angeles, about 7 years.
Oh, wow.
I got involved with a lot of MMA fighters who wanted to learn how to wrestle. And in exchange, they taught me a lot of other martial arts, from boxing to Muay Thai kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, knife fighting, self-defense, everything else you can think of.
Sweet.
As for martial arts, a show like Field of Geeks is like ideal because as a kid, you see your favorite heroes on TV or in a comic book, and you want to simulate that the best way you can. When I'm doing martial arts, I'm thinking of myself being a Goku. I'm thinking of myself being a Superman or a Deadpool, or like,
Nice.
How would this person move? So, yeah, it's a motivating factor. Like, I'm literally wearing my Superman shirt right now. I'm going to train in it.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I'll train in it and stuff like that because it'll give me that, I guess, to simplify it, that vibration. Or if I want to be slick and cunning, I might wear like a Batman shirt. Yet I have not found a Batman shirt that I am happy with yet.
Really?
It's funny you say that. I've seen several Batman, the Fat Bat, the Target version where it's the old oval with the yellow. I still haven't either. I still cannot find that one shirt.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Batman. From my understanding, he's probably the biggest character that Warner Brothers has, and yet you would think his stuff is everywhere. As in a comic book character, he's the biggest one out of DC. He's been holding it down for years.
Right.
And you would think you would have like Michael Jordan sneakers. You would have like Batman, American flag, Batman Mexico, Batman whatever.
Right.
Like there's all these different Batman on Mars. I don't know, just like
yeah.
But yeah. So as for that martial arts idea, that's basically like me being a big kid,
Yeah.
and thinking in my head, like, if I had to use this, which I hope I don't ever have to,
Of course.
but if I ever had to use this in the street, am I going to move like Batman?
Yeah, right. Right.
So I was thinking in the back of my head of that. As for anything to do with comic books or anything to do with something that is what we would call fantasy, I've from day one I've always been into that stuff. To this day, I still think like that. I have enough friends that tell me you're just a big kid. You need to grow up. And I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give in. They're not going to trick me into acting like them.
Right.
So I still do my research on comic book characters that I've always been into, and major Hulk fan.
Really?
Love all types of different things, but just going into things like that. Side note, they're revamping Spawn, and I'm really excited about that. I've been hearing about that. So I just wanted to throw that out there while it's on my mind.
Sure, yeah.
I'm looking at my Spawn poster.
Heck yeah.
I guess they're going to do it almost like, I assume it's a movie. The original creator,
Yeah.
he was saying something like that. It's almost going to be like a horror movie.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to go.
That's the way that that they portrayed in the comics. I hope they get the hard R rating that they wanted instead of what we got the last time. Will we actually get to see Spawn though? Because I've heard rumors that it may be more of like a horror thing, and we get to see the person who will become him, but maybe not Spawn. I don't know. Have you heard much?
I think you might be on the right track. I think it might be like a build-up so they can build a series.
Okay.
I'm assuming.
Sure.
I could be totally wrong. Don't quote me on that. But I'm just excited about it because Spawn, to me, is one of those characters who's outside of the Marvel DC franchises that is made a strong name for himself. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited to see a revamp of him,
Sure.
Him being like an independent. He's almost like, from a music standpoint, he's almost like an independent artist.
Right.
Who made it big.
Yeah.
No,
I get that. Like I remember seeing the maybe 97, was it? The original movie, and of course, that was hit and miss. A lot of people would probably say miss or hit. But of course, you had the HBO series, which was amazing. I thought it really had big ideas in it, big stories, and Todd McFarlane. He's been trying to get this to happen for years, and so I'm happy that he's finally able to do it. I think Deadpool paved the way with their low budget, and that's what they're going to be doing with Spawn. Personally, I could see them getting away with doing a low budget. Maybe you could see his green eyes or something in the distance, or if it's just a demon that's chasing whoever's involved. It's all up in the air. But I think he might be directing the movie too.
Okay,
I think he's planning on doing that. So
playing a bigger part in this than the previous one.
They definitely won't try the Batman route, or they're trying to make him this. Superhero we've come to know, I guess, through other avenues, and it's just a darker universe, and
and he's not like totally good all the time, so they shouldn't make him out to be like another Batman, and I think a lot of people are having a problem. Well, some people may get the impression that because he has a cape and he's got a mask on, that he might be the next, version or incarnation of Batman. So,
right.
Yeah, a little concerned. Todd McFarlane is, we've had a couple of other major artists direct movies.
Frank Miller.
Frank Miller was one. That one flopped, and I don't know what went wrong there. But Sin City was great. But yeah, I'm a little leery. But Todd McFarlane has been at this for 14, 15 years, if not more.
Yeah.
To get it back on track. And there's been fan-made films on YouTube that I saw. I saw one where you get to see Spawn at the very end. There's like this mom and a kid in the grocery store shopping, and something happens, and then all of a sudden you see Spawn. And I hope that if we do get to see Spawn again, that the cape, because Todd McFarlane just draws these beautiful capes on Spawn, and they flow and all that stuff, and I hope that they bring that back.
Yeah, I'm sure they can pull it off better than they did with a high budget. Because now, you see all these. They're not really amateur videos, but the effects are incredible. Like whoever did the Dark Power Ranger movie or short film, whatever it was. I mean,
that was beautiful. That was awesome.
Yeah, and
that was great. And
that probably wasn't a huge budget. I take it, but man, it looked damn good. So I think if they can. If they can make it look that good for a Spawn movie, and maybe they can put them in shadows, so you don't have to really. It's more imaginative, like what's going on, what you're seeing. So, yeah, I think they definitely have a chance to have something great come of it, and if it makes a lot of money, then they can go forward and really put in more effects, maybe.
As for directing with Todd, I think he's been at it so long. He's clearly got a vision in his head.
Sure.
And he's just trying to find a way to get someone who can bring that vision to life.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, the same thing with music, like as being a musician, like I might have a song in my head and I'll have like the melody in my head, and I might try out, because I don't play instruments. I'm a vocalist.
Sure.
So I might go to X amount of several different producers and be like, hey, can you make this? And no one nails it. And then one day some guy's like, oh, and this happened before, where I'll be like, oh, that's what you want? Oh, that's simple. I'm like, oh, I've been looking for you for years.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Where have you been? And you just did that in like 30 seconds.
Right.
Fuck you, man. So from that point of view, being a creator, I can see maybe that might be an approach that Todd has. Like he's like, I have this thing in my head, and I just need someone who can help me pull it off, because he has put his energy into creating the character Spawn and the storyline and this and all that. He hasn't put all of his energy into film and, angles and directing.
Exactly.
So it might come off funny because it's not his it's not where his expertise lie, So he's probably just waiting or researching and trying to find at least a guy or a couple people that might be able to help his vision, or he may see someone else's good works in something else and be like, that's the person I need to work with.
Right, yeah.
It might not be anyone that has anything to do with anything that has to do with comics. It might be someone that has more to do with horror. Who knows?
It's all about finding the perfect the partner, you be on the same page. And I think Todd's basically ready to direct if he can't find that director that really, kind of takes what he's thinking and puts it on film. That could turn out bad, but it's probably a better chance in his head if he can't find anybody who clicks, just to go in and do it yourself. So we might all be pleasantly surprised, but
and it's one of those things where I think wanting to do something really bad versus passion are two different things. And I think Todd has an extreme passion for Spawn. And I think you're right when you say you got to search for the right person. And once you do find it, it's like, oh, where have you been?
Right. Yeah.
So I get what you're saying. Maybe a horror director is the right path to go.
That's
so
pretty cool. Yeah.
Now that I think about it, that's going to be exciting.
Let's go over some
quick things quickly.
Quick things, quickies.
Sponsored by Come and Go.
Trojan condoms. No, Come and Go.
That's a gas station here. Sorry.
So some quick items here. EW, Entertainment Weekly, they're going to feature some Star Wars photos. They've been released on the internet, and they look pretty cool. There's some new things we've seen. Apparently, Luke's living on that world with these little creatures, so he's not by himself. It's a lot of mystery there. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Maybe he's got a relationship with one of them. I don't know. They won't go there. But they
Disney.
It's Disney. Yeah. But they got these cool, like, samurai soldier looking things. They're like red armor. And you remember that stormtrooper that had that weapon in Force Awakens?
Oh, yeah, like almost a baton lightsaber kind of
these
thing.
guys look like they're holding them, too. Whoa. So that's pretty cool, right?
That was cool watching that scene when he flips it out and just...
Oh, yeah, a lot of people already have fan fiction on that guy.
Oh, do they?
Even though we don't know his name or anything. So, like, they were bummed he died. Like, oh, man. Because he's the only stormtrooper. It's like, I'm not going to shoot you.
Had that thing.
Yeah, I'm not going to shoot and miss. I'm just going to grab this weapon, and maybe it was a prototype of some sort. But, yeah, anyway, that Entertainment Weekly magazine with all the Star Wars photos, that should be out very soon. So I might take a gander at that. But, yeah, like I said, it's on the internet. So if you want to save the money, I think it's probably like $12 for a magazine anymore. It's crazy. Blade Runner 2049 is getting an R rating, so won't be able to take the kids to that, sadly.
Yes,
that clap,
yes, thank you.
Sweet. Hey, man, the more I see this movie, it looks great. It really, I wasn't really sure in the beginning. I was like, I don't know if we're ready for, I just don't know if you can, do anything better than that first one, even though that first one's had 10 cuts to it.
Well, and it's such an intense movie. It's it's one that needs to be told fully, and I don't think you can PG-13 some of the events that would take place in something like that. Because, I mean, you're talking robots and relationships and robot-human relationships.
Right.
It just gets weird.
They're going to go there, unlike Disney.
They might.
With the little critters Luke has with him. The visuals look amazing, and Jared Leto's character looks very interesting. He's like a creator of these robots. They're using a lot of practical effects. Harrison Ford looks like he's really, has a presence in the movie. So
which is good.
That's good. Yeah. So I am very excited to see this. Sounds like you are too, Juan.
I'm pretty geeked up about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blade Runner is an excellent movie.
Yeah.
And just it was so ahead of its time, the original one. I'm curious to see the technology of what they can do on film nowadays, how this new interpretation is going to look.
Even if it's not a big hit, the original wasn't a big hit. It was a cult hit.
Yeah.
And, as long as it's a good story, I'm fine with it. I don't think we need more and more sequels unless it sets it up, of course. But
they're kind of bringing back that theme music of the 80s, and I like that, kind of like what they did with Stranger Things.
A lot of retro stuff
you
happening.
Feel that, yeah.
I'm liking it, too. Yeah. I think I'm really, especially the new Thor trailer.
Yes.
Man, it's got some, 80s.
Yeah.
Have you seen that Thor trailer? This is another tangent, but I got to ask you, Juan, because, you're a music guy. And
yeah, they finally used, I want to say the Zeppelin song.
Yeah.
But it's about being a Viking and this Viking. It's pretty much a description of Thor, the song itself. And I'm surprised it took them so long to figure that out. Ragnarok has me super amped up.
The latest Thor trailer's got this really cool soundtrack to it. And yeah, they do play the Zeppelin thing again. But man, it's got this. I wish I could. I don't know the instrument they use.
You know what? I know. You know what movie it is? It's like a. I think it's called a Moog. It's an old instrument they used to use a lot in the 70s.
Oh yeah, okay.
Late 60s, I think.
Okay. Yeah, it's got a unique sound to it. It's very, very cool, I think.
Yeah, it's got that retro sound.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre, on his very first album, The Chronic, he was known for using the Moog a lot.
Okay.
And no one was using the Moog, especially in any genre of music, let alone hip hop or gangster rap at the time. So Yeah, it's an interesting sound. It has its own little way it feels, the air. But I'm not sure that's a Moog or not. I just know it has that kind. When you hear that round, those weird kind of sounds.
Yeah.
That sounds like from a certain era. It's got a very 70s kind of thing. I think it's the Moog. The trailer reminds me of you ever see that movie? It's really funny. Kung Fu Theory. Is it Theory?
Yeah.
It's like a guy. Is it Kung Fu Theory? Yeah, and he goes back and sees the Viking Thor. He goes through the past, and I don't want to give away the movie if someone hasn't seen it, but I think it's Kung Fu. It's not too long ago it came out.
Right. Yeah, it's still on Netflix.
It's Kung Fu Theory. Yeah, and it's all retro. That movie is awesome. And that movie is awesome.
Doesn't he have to
if you're an enhancement? It's an awesome movie.
Doesn't he have to fight like a T-Rex or something like that?
Yes. I think he wrote it. No, they had these like Viking hot chicks that rode like rhinos or something. I don't know what the heck they were riding, but it was ridiculousness all over the place. And he rode a keyboard 3 times. I think he skateboarded or surfed on a keyboard 3 times. I was like, this movie is ridiculous. It's so awesome. And he's fighting Hitler. He's killing Nazis.
Oh, I
gotta look it up.
I
gotta watch it again.
I've never seen this movie.
So good.
What's it called? Kung Fu Fury?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
It's on the list.
It's so good, Josh.
Okay.
It's so good, Josh.
That sounds really good.
I thought you saw it.
No, I didn't. Mitch did. I didn't. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good, bro.
Oh, that's cool.
It's so ridiculous. I mean, expect ridiculousness, because now I feel bad that I told you.
No,
much.
It's fine. No,
those are good teasers though.
Some people
Writing.
don't like to be told.
I don't. No, it's fine. It's like I haven't seen the visuals, so that's even better. I'll be like, oh yeah.
Okay, I'll give you a quick visual. It starts off with him fighting a video game. Like the boxes, like in the 80s where you play Pac-Man.
Yeah.
He's fighting one with arms and legs. He's fighting a video game box.
Oh my gosh.
Through the streets, and the video game is like a renegade killer. And so,
wow.
He's flying. His car is flying through the air. It's ridiculous. I'm telling you, it's awesome. It's so good.
All right.
We need to do a part 2.
Oh yeah.
I'm dying for the part 2.
I'm gonna watch that today. If it's on Netflix, I'm gonna watch it.
If you ever have me back on the show,
I will.
We got to do a review of that one.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, we can do that for sure.
After you watch it, because then you'll be like, I get it. I get what you're saying. I got it. And they set it up for a part 2, so I don't know if they're ever going to do that.
Right.
But it's one of those things that might build like a cult following.
That sounds awesome. The Batman vs. Two-Face trailer was released, the animated movie. It's got the late Adam West in it, of course. This is the follow-up to, I think, The Return of the Caped Crusaders. Really, really great animation they used. This is the 60s Batman, of course, we're talking about. Yeah, this looks great. You don't get to hear too much of, William Shatner has I don't know if they made his voice different or he actually did it himself, but when he's Two-Face,
it's good.
Yeah. I don't know if they tweaked it or not, or he actually has some impressions we didn't know about.
it's grovelly.
Yeah, right. I like it though. It's pretty cool, and I think this might be the last one we see, unfortunately, unless they have enough balls to recast Adam West as Batman. We'll see, but yeah, maybe Burt Ward will get a Nightwing version of his Robin. I don't know. We'll see, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. If there's money to be made and people love these movies, I wouldn't put it past them to recast. I mean, yeah, it would suck, but if they can get some guy that sounds like him, I'm okay with it, because that kind of paves the way for other properties from the past to be brought back. Because not all those actors are still with us. So, like a Bill Bixby, Hulk animated movie, that'd be kind of cool. Now I want to talk about, of course, Josh Brolin's Cable. They revealed 2 photos, and we were getting glimpses of what he was going to look like. He got the haircut, and he's been working out a ton. What are you guys thinking about this look of Cable?
Perfect,
Perfect?
in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, even the teddy bear,
Yeah.
if you know anything about Cable.
No, I really don't.
Cable he's just a badass, man. And the way they have, just the look, they've made Cable real.
They did.
I'm surprised they haven't involved maybe they're going to do that. Bring in like he wears kind of almost like these shoulder pad things. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Cable is like just the way they did his arm. It doesn't look cheesy. I believe he is Scott Summers' son and a clone of Jean Grey. So Jean Grey has passed away in the series that he's based off of, and it's her clone that Scott is now involved with, and they have Cable.
And he's from,
So,
he
Cable,
visits the past, right? He's from the future.
Yeah, he's a lot like Bishop. Him and Bishop is also from the future as well. They're like older mutants, and so they're in a battle with Apocalypse, which is great because the Fox Disney thing, they're doing these awkward things with it, but them involving Apocalypse again and like a Deadpool series. Deadpool has opened up a door for them to bring in characters that you normally wouldn't expect them to bring in. They also released a new picture of Domino.
Yes.
Ryan Reynolds was really hardcore about making sure that Domino was African American, which is
That's
cool.
great. Yeah, of course.
Me being African American.
Yeah, all right.
I dig that.
Yeah.
But I looked at the picture of her. I think it's something like he was shooting for almost like a foxy brownish kind of thing.
Yeah.
She has like the big fro. I think it's awesome. But I have this ability to get on and off subject really fast.
No, we do too. It's
The new
okay.
Cable, he's I think Josh looks better than I could have imagined. I didn't expect him to look that way. The guy that I had in mind was, and I thought he would make the perfect Cable, was the guy from Avatar.
Stephen
I don't know
Lang.
his name.
Yeah.
Stephen Lang. Yep.
Yeah, he was the antagonist in that movie. That dude,
Yeah.
Right.
just off of first glance, I'm like, yeah, that's Cable. He was born to play Cable.
That was my pick too. But yeah, when they cast Brolin, I wasn't like bummed. I was kind of like, oh, I didn't really know that was possible because he's playing Thanos for the Marvel universe, and
Bingo!
yeah,
Bingo!
yeah. But of course, he's not physically Thanos, so maybe that's how he can get away with this. But yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was a bad choice. Josh Brolin's a great actor, and he can really morph into other characters. Like the young Tommy Lee Jones and Men in Black 3.
Oh yeah, that
he was
was
the highlight of that movie.
Yeah,
right. Awesome. And before he got cast as Cable, he just came off a movie where he gained like 40 pounds.
Oh wow!
So he's kind of tubby, but now he's like he's committed. I mean,
he's put all of himself into this role, and I applaud him for that. He first movie I ever saw him in was The Goonies. Yeah, he was playing the older son that was kind of geeky or whatever. I didn't put much stock in him, but then you start watching movies like W or Men in Black 3, and you start seeing that he's got this wide array of acting abilities. And Joanna Hex, that was another one that didn't do too well, but
yeah,
I still to this day have not seen it, and I want to. But you can see how far he's willing to go for a character.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, what was it? Old Country for...
No Country for Old Men. That was a great one.
No Country for Old Men.
Yeah. That's when he got a lot of, buzz. And I remember seeing him in Hollow Man back in
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
and I kind of just thought that's how he was going to be, just kind of a side character.
Yeah.
This whole renaissance of him being this big actor now, it's fantastic. And yeah, he looks great. And I had no doubts because, like you said, this Deadpool team, they have really done something remarkable, and they kind of cracked the code right before the X-Men Apocalypse came out, so it was really hard for that movie to probably be successful, because it didn't do too well. And yeah, it's kind of like, what are we going to do now? Because Fox, it's a weird position they're in, because Deadpool kind of embraces everything about the comics. You know, they just go for it.
Yeah.
Whereas you got the Singer movies, they're kind of trying to be more serious, and they're not going to dress up in those classic outfits unless it's like the last 5 minutes of Apocalypse, and you're like, oh, they finally got the costumes, and the movie's over. And it's like, oh, okay, well, that sucks. So, yeah, and then the next movie,
Well,
yeah.
Well, I was going to say about Deadpool, the thing about that whole franchise, and I think I think this is something in film that maybe a lot of, I don't know who, producers don't necessarily always take into consideration. I've noticed that movies where you have a character who breaks the fourth wall always tends to do pretty well.
Right. Yeah.
It's something about that, because that character is identifying you and having a conversation with you, realizing, hey, I know you're watching me. And and I think people gravitate to that very well. There are characters that break the fourth wall that people don't necessarily know do that. Joker, for example, breaks the fourth wall. He doesn't announce it like Deadpool so much, but he'll drop hints.
Right.
He's dropped it over years and through the comic book and things like that. There's an old movie I actually watched again recently. I don't know. It's not a comic book movie, but it's called SOC Punk. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it or
I don't
seen
think
it.
I have, no.
It stars the guy that played Shaggy in the Scooby-Doo.
Oh, Matthew Lillard?
Yeah. So.
Really? Okay.
I haven't seen that guy in years.
Yeah, he's dropped off 6 years.
He's basically talking to you. He's telling you like he's growing up in Utah in the early 80s, and him and his best friend are the only two punks in town. And everyone thinks they're like trying to act like British guys or something like that, and they're saying no and this and all that. But he talks to you. He tells you the different classes of people that he hangs around, you know, like these guys are posers, these guys are this, these guys are that. And he's talking to you. He's talking about the girl he's dating. But it's very captivating because he's there breaking the fourth wall, and he's letting you know everything.
Sure.
The same thing with Deadpool. As soon as it starts, he's just sitting on the side of the freeway.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, hi there.
On the edge of it, you know, and he's, hey, how you doing there, you know? And I think, especially for the demographic that I think it's safe to say, women in the comic book world are 50-50. Either you have a chick that's all in, or she wants nothing to do with it and she thinks it's childish. It's not really a lot of mid-ground with a lot of girls.
Sure.
From my personal experience.
Yeah. So
Deadpool being the kind of character is like, oh my God, I didn't know comic books could be so fun, you know?
Right.
And,
yeah, that's right.
You know, he broke that barrier because my lady friend, she was like, I love the Deadpool. He's like, that's her favorite comic book character now. It's not Superman. It's not Batman. You know, it's not, you know, Thor or anything like that. It's Deadpool.
Yeah.
Her children, daughters. Deadpool.
Wow.
I've noticed a lot of ladies gravitate to it because he's the one character out the gate that I can think of that has invited you in.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
He's told you his life. He told you like his life story with his girlfriend in the movie, his blind roommate, his, you know, best friend at the bar, you know.
Yeah.
He's telling you everything. And so like it's inviting, you know. So I think there's something to say about a character that breaks the fourth wall. And I want to see how Josh does as Cable, because it doesn't look like any other character in the movies will break the fourth wall except Deadpool.
Yeah, I could see them being like, who are you talking to, you know, or something like that, or, you know, or maybe referencing, maybe Cable has a little dialogue with Domino, and he's like, "This guy's nuts," as Deadpool's talking into the camera and all that stuff. Who knows? But yeah, it's to me, I think they're gonna play it straight. Deadpool's just, I think that's the only way you get that whole fourth wall breaking is with Deadpool. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think any other character in his world would do that. It's just his shtick. I think it's very unique, and it was really risky to do. But of course, that character is already established for doing that. So, to not have him do that would have been probably really bad for, the audience and stuff. So.
Well, we saw what happened when he didn't break the fourth wall in the Wolverine origin movie.
Oh, yeah, man. Oof.
You saw what happened.
Yeah, yeah. That movie.
It was the Wolverine origin one?
Oh yeah, it was. That movie's a mess. I don't know what the hell happened with that movie. That was just.
It's so
awful.
bad. It's good for me. It's so bad.
Yeah,
it's
kind of one of those guilty pleasures. Yeah, I mean, I own it on Blu-ray, and there's some cool stuff about it. Man, some of the special effects are terrible, and yeah, they just totally screwed up Deadpool's origin, really. And they referenced it in the movie Deadpool about that figurine. I think they had the figurine from yeah. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they
that was hilarious.
Yeah, it was, and as he's getting courted away to getting his powers, in that one scene, he was saying, "Don't give me a green suit."
Green suit.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's saying stuff like that made it awesome.
Right. Yeah. It didn't take itself so seriously. It was, you had a lot of comedic breaks with the fourth wall, and him basically just telling us all a story. It wasn't, we were invited in, let's say.
Oh yeah. And the funny thing is I just have to say this real quick. The Wolverine movie, I knew it was bad the moment I think he was smoking a cigar and the helicopter was falling behind him. Yeah. And I think it was like a fire, and he's walking away from the explosion. When any movie does that, I already know what kind of movie I'm in for. You're walking away from the explosion. I've only seen it done cool once, and that was a movie with Denzel called Equalizer.
Okay, yep.
He can make anything look cool. He's one of those rare people that can make, picking his nose look cool. I don't know.
Yeah, they just didn't know what they wanted to do with that movie. I think it was just all over the place. They were trying to incorporate all these other movies that came before. But yeah, I'm glad that thankfully, since that Deadpool footage leaked years ago, we finally got the Deadpool movie we deserved, and I don't think it would have happened without that footage being leaked. I think that's kind of how you have to do it anymore. You kind of have to bypass the studio and just drop it out there for everyone to see. Let them decide if there's going to be a movie and not the studio. So in this case, it definitely won in their favor. And Cable looks amazing. And yeah, like we said, Domino looks great. Zazie Beetz is her name. I think she's in a show on FX. Oh, crap, I forgot what it's called. It's got Donald Glover in it. But anyway, that's all I know what she's done before this movie. It's looking great. This whole cast looks great, and can't wait to see a trailer. We've seen that little teaser thing before Logan started, and that's kind of
and the phone booth.
Yeah, that was funny.
Well, I heard that Ryan Reynolds, because he played a big part in I don't know, co-direction of the movie in the first one. Mm-hmm. So they're saying they want to keep roughly the same budget.
Yes.
For the second one. I did catch that. Even though they have more money behind it, mm-hmm. because he wants to keep the same feel. So whatever they need to do to get the same kind of CGI, mm-hmm. Which the one thing I want to say is I think at first I thought it would be cheesy, but they nailed it with Colossus.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They nailed it.
They did. Yeah.
They kind of overplayed him being like the kind of guy that take your vitamins, eat your breakfast, kind of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
have a power bar.
They nailed the look. They did. You know what I'm saying? Like Colossus is like Mr. Goody Two Shoes.
Yeah.
And they just nailed it. The Colossus from the X-Men series, it was like They made him younger in one of the movies.
Yeah, he was like
it was X-Men 2.
Yeah, it's like a GQ version of Colossus.
Yeah, it's too pretty.
Yeah,
Too
right.
pretty.
And not enough character, really. He just kind of said a few things, and that was about it.
He's just there.
Yeah,
he's just there.
Yeah, no, I dug it, and definitely look forward to keep that budget low, because that keeps the studios out of trying to get a good movie made. It's like, just, we don't need to hear your ideas, Fox. Just let us make the movie, and because you get more money, that's what usually happens. The studio is like, oh, we get to chime in now.
As long as the studio can stay out of things, it seems to be better with this movie.
Yeah, it's like, just distribute and shut up.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about. Most time that's the case, but
just collect your check and go.
Yeah, right. Right, just leave the money at the door and we'll take care of it. Yeah, exactly. Moving on, of course, to another big studio, Disney. The Marvel Disney Netflix deal is over. It's
that was quick.
Yeah, it was. They, I think they made this deal maybe a year ago or so.
Yeah.
I mean, they always kind of had a deal with them, but they renewed it like a year ago, and Civil War's out there, and Doctor Strange, and other shows, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that. But yeah, Disney's going to end the deal with Netflix. The reason why is that they are starting their own streaming service, and it's going to begin the 2019 calendar year.
Okay.
So older releases, such as the ones that are out there now, it's uncertain if they're going to stay on or if they're going to be a part of this new streaming service. Disney bought BAM Tech, and it's a streaming tech and marketing service. And I guess ESPN is going to utilize the same service.
That's the one thing that has me the most excited, because I'm tired of asking for people for their DirecTV passwords.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Just so I can watch Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
If they can find a way to, because I know ESPN's hurting, and I know this isn't comic book news, but if they can find a way to have a streaming service, cable's going to go downhill. I think if every program would hop onto something like that, cable would be done.
Yeah, no, I agree, because it's like you get to choose what you want.
Well, yeah, that's just it.
Everyone's got these streaming services, so yeah, I think sports is like the last hurrah for cable. I think because minute that can go to streaming, goodbye.
Yeah, I mean,
the whole base is out.
I paid $150 a month, and I got 4 channels that I wanted.
Yeah.
And the rest was all infomercials and
a lot of channel surfing.
Yep.
Or it's down, crap. But they'll in turn get you with the internet, though. That's
of course.
That's what the catch is going to be. You have to have the high speed internet.
Yep.
But still, I think streaming's definitely a way to go. Unfortunately, it's going to. I think I see more studios doing this streaming service. It makes sense to me. Netflix is becoming mostly they're having their own programming, so they probably don't really need all these movies, these studios, I guess, if they all go their separate ways. But it's a gamble to the studios as well. I can see it really hurting like rental stores, things like that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not surprised Disney's going this route. They have quite a bit of money. So
do you think they're going to take the movies off of there? Because I'm assuming like the Marvel is owned by Disney.
Yes, right.
So
and so is Star Wars.
So they're going to take.
So.
Okay, yeah, because I was watching. I've been into those little series like Iron Fist, the Defenders.
Yeah.
Dropping.
Those are different though, because that's because they're Netflix series. So I think that's how those will stick.
Right, but it's still characters owned by are Marvel characters. So I don't know how that works. Yeah. I think Disney only has rights over X-Men. I could be wrong. Like a particular comic book issue. My personal curiosity is going to make me research this. So, but yeah, I didn't know what they were going to take off the show, or what shows they're going to take off of there.
It's still uncertain, but I see the Netflix shows sticking because they're Netflix shows. If they do other characters, it's going to be up to Disney. Maybe Netflix will have to ask permission, but I think those should be grandfathered in. The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., for instance, I'm not sure if that they'll stay on or not. I hope so, because Marvel TV, Marvel or MCU, they're quite different, but yeah, they're all owned by Disney. So, and like I said, Star Wars. So right now you got Rogue One out there on Netflix. I think everything that's out there now will stay. for a while. But yeah, after the new releases come 2019, those will go on to that
so you're
streaming.
saying what you think what's there is going to stay there?
I think so for now. Yeah.
Yeah, because Doctor Strange is on there right now. Civil War, like you said.
Yeah.
I think Hellboy's still on there. They reissued it, like reposted it. I think Hellboy's on there. Why no one ever shows Hellboy 2? It's always Hellboy 1.
Yeah,
anyway,
I know.
Yeah, I know.
That's weird.
1 everywhere. I rarely get to see Hellboy 2, and Hellboy 2 is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
I like it more than I like 1.
Yeah, same here. They kind of fix things, and
because I'm into some of these shows. I'm like going through Iron Fist right now. Finished up Luke Cage. I've been bouncing around because there's other shows I've been watching too. So then I got Iron Fist, then I had to do Daredevil, and then obviously Jessica Jones.
Of course,
so,
yeah.
I'm actually going in the opposite order, I think, or just
that's
bouncing
fine.
between the two.
Yeah, no, that's.
I think Daredevil was the first one.
Oh yeah, I love it.
I'd be sad if they start taking these shows off of Netflix.
Yeah, I don't see them doing that just because they're Netflix shows, unless Disney just doesn't allow them to go any further. Yeah, you got Defenders coming out and stuff. So, and a Punisher show that's coming. So I think it's mostly just big Disney movies. I think are the targeted ones for the streaming service. We have some time. Maybe they'll need more time to tweak their service.
It could be, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's Disney, so it could go either way, I guess. But that's the problem, though, when one company owns like everything. It's a monopoly then, almost. And it's like, well, if you want to see this stuff, you got to pay our service or, go buy it yourself before we put it back in the vault. I hate that stupid thing they do.
Yeah, well, I get it. I mean, it's a marketing ploy.
Oh, I know. They have the power, that's for sure.
Does Disney really have that many movies that they could put on a streaming device?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't really been too pleased with their deal right now on Netflix. Like, they have movies out there that just aren't... They have Mighty Ducks. That's cool.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, I dig that. But yeah, they also have these other ones, and I'm like, they're just not that good.
It's going to be like Crackle, where it's like 1 or 2 movies that you really want. You're glad you don't have to pay for it, but...
Right.
It's there. Sony's version of streaming service, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, speaking of Marvel, of course, Venom, that's still developing with Sony. They
yes.
Yeah, you're excited about that?
Yeah. I mean, everything about that is excellent. I hope they can find a way to affiliate it with the current actor that's playing Spider-Man, but we'll see what happens with that. But Venom alone, that character, are they going to make him more... I wonder if they're going to make him like an anti-hero.
I think
type deal.
I can see them doing that because he's kind of center stage. So far, Spider-Man's not going to be in this. It's separate.
That doesn't make any sense, though.
I know, it doesn't.
That's how Venom forms, is after he hits Spider-Man.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're going to have to do maybe kind of like a Bruce Wayne losing his parents.
To him.
Yeah.
Maybe it might not be the actor that plays Spider-Man. They may just have like a scene with a Spider-Man-like character. They did that in Suicide Squad to an extent. Yeah. No, but it wasn't that was Affleck, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was.
Suicide Squad. I was just saying as a reference. I would see it as that.
Yeah, I think there should be a reference. I think a clever way they could do it maybe is you see like an alleyway, there's shadows of someone trying to pull this off them, and they finally get it pulled off. That's the symbiont, or whatever you call it. So you basically were seeing a shadow of Spider-Man trying to get rid of this thing, and he got rid of it, and then this thing left this alleyway or whatever, and found... Eddie Brock's going to be the guy who plays him, right? The character in the movie?
I mean, that is Venom.
Okay.
That is Venom, isn't it?
Yeah, because I think Flash Thompson's been Venom too, so I know that...
Well, he's the first official Venom.
Eddie Brock is?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's fine, yeah. Yeah, I agree with you about a reference. I think they could do a clever thing where you don't see Spider-Man, but you kind of get a hint, or like I said, shadows, whatever,
Let's pause for a second. Why did Spider-Man get rid of that? That's always played on my mind. I've never said that and really expressed that to anyone. Why did he get rid of the symbiote? It made him faster, stronger, more. That eats me alive. I get it. But the black suit was awesome.
Yes.
He had it as a suit, whereas Eddie Brock, it was a part of him. It was like his body armor. It was him.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man could take it off, you know.
Right.
But it
was a part of his suit.
It did affect him mentally, though, didn't it? Spider-Man didn't.
In some ways,
it just raised his testosterone. He was on steroids, basically. That's really what it was.
Yeah. Well, I think
he was more confident.
Yeah.
He was super confident. He would, you know.
Yeah.
He would speak his mind if he was talking to someone. I mean, he was on steroids. He was a meathead.
He had terrible back acne and.
Why couldn't he just, like, on days when he was kind of lazy, just create another suit and just have the red suit for when he, you know, really didn't need his super strength, and then when times called for it, just don the Venom suit.
I see a marquee of big letters, Spider-Man 3, and then you hear a scream, no! And then that's when it shows him ripping off the symbiote. And then there you go. That's your reference. It's the same studio, so they can get away with it. And it's fun. It's like breaking the fourth wall, you know?
Well, you know, and Tobey Maguire could do it.
Pretty much.
Oh,
I mean, he's not even officially Spider-Man anymore. Why doesn't he?
They said Andrew Garfield could come back. I mean, I don't know. This is weird, but
are they gonna bring back Tobey Maguire?
Oh, I hope not. Shit.
They could have Venom kill him as Uncle Ben. He could now be the new Uncle Ben.
Oh,
Can they kill him when he's trying to be all slick? Can they kill him in that dance club when he's trying to be all slick and this weird
He's got his emo hair?
With great power comes great responsibility. Uncle Ben.
That's the subtext.
Blaze him.
Well, I think we figured it out. We should tell Sony.
Suit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sony. If you do any of this, you owe us a check, man. If you do any of this, Sony, you owe us a check, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
You mastermind this right now. Uncle Ben comes back from the grave. Write this down. It's on. I want to see it. Mix a little Kung Fu Fury with it, and it's over. It's going to be the greatest.
Have Uncle Ben
ever.
carrying around a DVD of Spider-Man 3, and he points a gun to him and says, "No more!" And then there you go. There you go.
Exactly.
We figured it out.
Exactly.
Don't worry about Tom Holland. It's okay.
No. Yeah, man. As for Venom, Tom Hardy to me is like the new great actor of this modern time right now.
Yeah.
Like to me, Tom Hardy's excellent actor.
Oh, for sure.
Excellent.
Yeah, he can do anything.
I'm surprised he hasn't won 10 Oscars yet. He is everything that I would say I look for in an actor, and
for sure,
I critique actors in a certain way, and so like to me, the GOAT is between Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington, but Tom Hanks might be edging him out. I mean, to go from a guy who's slowly dying of AIDS and fighting a court case because he's homosexual to a guy who's right under the mark of being mentally challenged.
Yeah.
And running around the country.
Yeah.
And I don't think of Tom Hanks as the man in Philadelphia or the man in Forrest Gump. So that's becoming the character. Tom Hardy does that.
Yeah.
Like, if you get a chance, if you haven't seen it, Bronson, he nails it.
That's a good movie.
Yeah. The other movie, Legend, where he plays twin brothers.
Sweet.
He's playing, I guess they were real guys in the UK in the 60s. And they were the first gangsters of the UK.
Okay.
And they were twin brothers. And the two brothers do have their own personalities.
Yeah.
And he's nailing it.
Casting him was brilliant for Sony because before that, if they didn't have a big star, this just wouldn't be interesting to me. I'd be very worried. I still kind of am, but they're getting a lot more people on board. They're talking about Riz Ahmed. He was in Rogue One. He might be playing Carnage, or Matt Smith from Doctor Who.
He played Darth Vader's grandson.
No, he was the.
I'm trying to think of his face.
Yeah. He had
see.
the beard. He had the beard and the ponytail in Rogue One. He was the pilot that became.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about? He went to go see.
Okay.
Oh gosh, what's his character's name? But anyway, he got that squid thing that mind melded with him. Whatever, that character. He's the pilot. He's the pilot that rebelled from the dark side in Rogue One. So that's the actor, and he's done some other great things. But yeah, they're talking about him being Carnage possibly, or Matt Smith. If
they include Carnage, it has to be R-rated. There's no way around it.
Oh yeah, and they are going for an R-rated movie.
I was gonna say there's no way around it. I will refuse to see the movie if it's not R-rated, if there's Carnage in it.
No, I think I think they're just like, Logan went the R-rated route, and Deadpool, like, let's just do it. And I don't know if the budget's gonna be huge. It's Sony, and they might try to play it safe a little bit, but I know for sure they're trying to do an R-rated movie. And actually, Ruben Fleischer, I think that's his name. He directed Zombieland. He's going to be directing this. So yeah, it's got a lot of potential to it, and it's supposed to come out October 5th, 2018. So I'm sure there's a lot of screen tests right now in the costume, and it might even be CG. Who knows? I don't know if they'll do like a Deadpool route, Spider-Man route, or it'll be interesting how they do it. I'm sure it's not going to be like Spider-Man 3. They're going to try and get away from that a little bit.
Please.
Also got some Justice League news. We all know that Snyder, he took time off. He left the project because he had a family tragedy. And Joss Whedon has taken over filming reshoots. But new reports are stating that it's actually becoming more extensive. Like, the tone of the movies appears to be a little dark for their liking. So Whedon's kind of making some tonal shifts in the movie. So, in the end, they might actually share a dual credit for directing, it looks like.
Oh, cool.
Now, I know we get a lot of rumors from these sites, but there's an actual actor in the movie, Joe Morton. He plays Dr. Silas Stone, I believe. He's Cyborg's dad. He said in an interview that Joss Whedon has been changing the tone of the movie, specifically with the portrayal of the once stoic Cyborg. And he knows that Ray Fisher, who plays Cyborg, they're adjusting his character in terms of the tone they were going for before. He heard that the studio wanted to lighten up the film, felt it was too dark, and they are going to accomplish this by doing the reshoots. I don't know how close this movie was to be done before, his family tragedy happened. It doesn't surprise me, though. I mean, Whedon's such a big director. And, I think in the end, it'll definitely be a dual collaboration. It might actually make for a great film,
Well, you have somebody that's taken such a popular culture of Marvel and an upbeat feel to it. And, you can add a little bit of lightness to the whole theme. I mean, even Batman with Tim Burton wasn't totally dark. It didn't have the dread that even the new Batman brings, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's just a balancing act, I think.
Sure.
A lot of people say Avengers was too safe, more dark tones in the sequel. So I think it's just a perfect balancing act, and I think Snyder was just trying to convey a lot of realism in this movie. Like, I think Cyborg was supposed to be very serious. Like, he's coming to terms with being mostly machine now.
Yeah. Which
I think it's a great way to deal with it. Like, you want a little seriousness with that stuff, but yeah, it's hard to say. His character might suffer from this change. I don't know, but I get, though, you don't have enough time for him to really be emo about his situation. It's like, go kick some ass. Like, this is Justice League. We can't have 30 minutes of you trying to come to terms with your condition.
And you can add some more humor to the Flash. I mean, the Flash has always been kind of a comic relief in the whole Justice League too.
Well, and he already is. Appears he already is. He's got the humor of the movie, which I mean, I'm liking what I'm seeing.
We kind of had a discussion like this a while back, me and you, briefly. I think that DC tries too hard sometimes to keep it in the real world, if that makes any sense. Whereas I think Marvel really understands, I'm making a comic book movie, and it's comic books, and it's supposed to be embellished and fantasy and surreal, and outside of Batman, all the other characters in DC, they have these, amazing abilities. And Batman, you can keep it in the real world. I think if they play up on certain things, on their powers a little more, it seems like they're always try to relate to the real world, yet you're battling in places that don't exist, like Metropolis or Gotham. And like, it's weird to me sometimes with the DC franchise. They're really focused on being like, how do I make this realistic? How do I sell this to the public? Whereas I think the public understands it's a comic book.
Right.
Again, I'll say again, outside of Batman, you kind of have to be realistic. Tony Stark for Marvel, you kind of have to be realistic. But you have an actor like
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. I don't know why it just slipped my mind. Like Robert Downey Jr. He's charismatic as hell. Like he brought Tony Stark to life. So you love the character Tony Stark. So he's already his own comic relief. He's already his own. He has a good presence. As for the new Justice League, I've been watching just about every trailer that's came out. I think, yes, the Flash is Barry Allen, right?
Yep.
I'm slightly more Marvel than I am DC. Barry Allen, he is a definite comic relief. From my understanding, they're trying to kind of mimic what's going on with Marvel. They're trying to rival it. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to build up to get in the dark side to match Thanos. But I guess with DC, it's just kind of like, I want more fantasy out of them. I would like that out of them. And I think when you add in more fantasy, it makes it easier of a cushion to start getting more humor involved. I mean,
yeah,
they did a pretty decent job in Suicide Squad. Now, I know people have mixed emotions about that movie, but the whole situation where what's the guy who was the prison guard who comes and sees Deadshot? That actor.
Oh, right.
Says,
Yeah.
I think it's a little loaf and it's got some sketty, and he's silly. He's giving you a rundown of all the prisoners.
Yep.
When Deadshot's shooting the gun, and they just have a little more humor. Like the villains in it, they can have more humor. Plus, I think that, as I'm not very good with DC, so it's not against DC. I love DC. It's just I'm not as well versed in it. But I think DC needs to play up their villains more. They have excellent villains. Marvel has sick heroes. Marvel's heroes are so good, they had to make a movie with the heroes fighting each other.
Yeah.
That's how good Marvel's heroes are. Like DC had to do something similar with their villains with Suicide Squad, but that wasn't their cream of the crop villains.
Right. Yeah.
Minus the Joker. Yeah. So I'm saying DC has the villains, and really start bringing those villains to the forefront and make bad be good. Like make a movie about the Joker.
Yeah.
Make it.
Yeah.
Make it,
I mean, that's what Leto wanted to do.
I think
make a movie. And I know that seems like it goes against the grain. You can have the hero save the day. I understand the format of writing a movie, because you always have to have the hero, you have to have the antagonist. I get it. But DC has those villains. If they used more of them, they're really trying to be this hero thing Superman's so he's so fucking overpowered. It's just like hard for people to level. He's got super hearing. Like he can sit here in my room and hear a bee scratch its butt in Africa. It's stupid. Like it's just overpowered. I get it. They have to find a way to make it where people want to watch them more. I think Justice League's just trying to do good just because it's a comic book movie. I'll be surprised by the true people that are into the comic books if they're in love with it or not.
Right.
I'll be surprised.
Well, and all this is...
Especially the director change, too, yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely going to be different. Can't really mimic what the other director was trying. You mean, you can try, but, you got to do more extensive reshoots. It's like, you got to just do your own thing with those, I think. It'll be a struggle when it comes out. People will be like, "Oh, we didn't saved it," or what I mean. Like, I don't think each of them will get equal like praise for their.
Like
part
if they
of the
went
movie.
both in on it together, it might be different. But now,
right. But yeah, this whole darkness at WB's, blame the Dark Knight. As great as that film was, I remember at the time they're like, "Oh, we're gonna make a Superman movie like this now," and I was like, "What? No, he's not dark." And
hold up,
Man of Steel's great, but you could tell they were going a little dark with it,
Yeah.
It wasn't as light as people would probably want it to be. I think that's something they haven't learned yet, is like, you can't make everything Dark Knight. You got to have a little... And it sounds like they know that now, because they want this Justice League movie to be a little brighter than it is. Dark and depressing is probably not going to be a...
If they want to compete, they got to lighten it up a little bit.
Yeah, even though they'll get labeled as copying Marvel, but yeah, it's fine.
So what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
What's the guy's name that plays Superman now? I don't know the actor's
Henry
name.
Cavill.
That dude is the first Superman that doesn't smile.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That dude doesn't smile. When he goes into the courthouse, he's serious. When he goes to see Lois in the movie, he's serious. He's never smiling. He's got the look.
Yeah.
But he doesn't smile. He's the most depressed Superman we've ever had.
Well, I think that's what they're using for this. He's died in the last movie. Spoilers. I think they're using this. He's coming back and he's going to be the Superman everybody wants. So I think it kind of sucks he had to die to become that. It's like, that was convenient.
You got to die to be smiling now.
Yeah,
like
right.
Happy to live again. Like, oh my God. I'm just saying, go back and watch all of his movies. You might get a smirk.
Yeah,
but
you're right.
Superman is happy-go-lucky dude, and he's always one of... You have to piss him off, which is extremely hard to do, to make him frown.
Mm-hmm.
This Superman is pissed off about everything. I got X-ray vision. Grr. I got, I can fly. He's angry about everything.
Yeah.
I'm not even an Earthling.
No, yeah. I get
angry.
it. Yeah. Yeah, no,
he's just depressed Superman.
I think definitely the Man of Steel could be forgiven for that, or maybe the first half. But yeah, you're right. He's got to crack a smile. But a lot of people are like, a lot of people are like, he's just not Superman yet, Because, I mean, if you look at Man of Steel, he just became Superman. He's taking in all this stuff. Like, I get it, though. He could have more of a sense of humor. He's so damn serious,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
I like you, Josh, because you have compassion. You're a nice guy. Like, you gotta work. Give him a chance to become Superman. You just realize, he's the symbol of hope. He's just, I get it. I have a higher standard for Superman. Like, how he's portraying Superman is how Marvel should portray Sentry.
Ooh.
Because I think Sentry is like a drunk or something. He's like a depressed drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And his only weakness is his own mind. He's the Marvel equivalent of Superman.
Okay.
So, he's a character, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Marvel, he's a character. I don't know if some people know who Sentry is, some don't. But he's pretty much Superman for Marvel.
Gotcha.
And he gets his powers from a super serum. He's got the powers of 10,000. He can release a blast of like 10,000 suns exploding or something.
Jeez.
Something ridiculous like that. But it's a match Superman. But he was like he just found the super serum or something. I don't remember the story 100%. So if anyone hears this is like, this dude's way off point, so be it. I'm sorry, but I think it's like he found it or he came upon it.
Yeah.
And I think he's like a drunk, depressed. He might have been a heroin addict. I don't know.
Right.
I just know he would. That guy probably shouldn't smile.
Yeah.
You know, I used to be strung out on something, and now, or I used to be an alcoholic, and now I can fly to go get my liquor. You know, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like he's like Hancock.
It's kind of like Hancock.
Yeah.
Like Hancock, he can not smile.
Right.
Superman is Mr. Go Lucky. He's like, I'm happy. Like, yay. So Batman and Cyborg are the only two that don't have to smile. Cyborg, because he's half robotic, I could see him being very cerebral and stoic.
Right.
And chilled out. Wonder Woman, let's just be real, she's hot. Like,
it sucks that they have to kill him to make Superman who we want him to be. So if they make him that way, then it looks like there's some promo stills of him smiling. So
let's start a GoFundMe page. Make Superman smile.
There you go. Give him a balloon.
Exactly. You got me. I'm sold, bro. Like, give him a balloon, send him a pony with a little girl on it, and be like, hey, Superman, this little girl was street. What's wrong, Superman? You know, like help the guy out. I've been watching. I watch movies like that, and I'll watch little details like that. I'm just that dude.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this dude does not smile.
Kind of like when Katie Holmes.
Reeves is probably, to me, the best Superman on film.
Mm.
Yeah.
Even though he was in a cheesy time. But he's the standard.
Yeah.
And that guy was always smiling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, he's the Adam West of Superman, but he was the man, you know? To me, to this day, I mean, what other Superman can you really say? I never really got into Smallville, so I don't know enough about that. To me, like, Clark and Lois, I never got into all that. But Superman, Christopher Reeves is the standard on film.
I think Cavill could be probably the best if he could just harness the sense of humor, you know, like we need. But other than that, he's like a roided out Christopher Reeves. Like they look a lot alike. Like, I think the casting's great, and I know he can act. So yeah, just put a smile on him, and you know, don't make him too happy-go-lucky. You know, I think, like I said, it's a balancing act. So you know,
but Superman is that cheesy guy. You got to give him he gets a little wiggle room. He's not technically human.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
His symbol is hope, you know?
Right.
That S on his chest stands for hope. I mean, maybe Kryptonians are very optimistic, you know? Like, who knows? But I know it's something small, and most people don't look at it like that, but I think that makes a big difference for his character.
No, I agree.
I really do. My mom's not dying to go see, this Superman movie. You don't smile. I think my mom's going to go and see Justice League.
Yeah.
Because the dude doesn't smile. I really do. I always put in the mom factor. Would my mom listen to this? Would my mom watch this?
Yeah.
In anything I do. If your mom's into it, you know it's good.
That could be a hell of an advertisement for McDonald's for their Happy Meals. Have Superman just be bummed out, and he gets a toy and he just cracks a smile, and
that would be the end of the commercial.
Yeah.
It just needs to go to black from there.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Hope. Even all the advertisements, the posters, he's just standing there stoic as hell. I'm like, you're Superman, bro. You could kill everybody if you wanted to. You could kill everyone. No one could stop you. No one on earth could stop you. No one. And you got that kind of power, and you're like, if I had that kind of power, I would just be like, yeah, you guys really are my bitch. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do anything to you, but you really are.
Right.
Yeah. Tony Inhuman, come on.
I know.
You get how it works.
I know.
You saw Zog. You saw General Zog.
Yeah.
And I snapped his neck.
Yeah.
That was baller. Superman killing someone was, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Game on. I gave him that, I guess what you were saying, Josh, I gave him that wiggle room in Man of Steel.
Yeah.
He became that guy.
Right.
Because he had to become that guy. So, but by the time Batman versus Superman, I was like, well, he knows who he is. I mean, they made the statue of him by now.
Yeah.
False god and all that.
Right. Right.
So by then he has to know, okay, well, if I put on a smile, maybe they'll like me more.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the $800 million mistake. No smile.
Public relations. He doesn't. I'm sorry, I'm ranting about Superman.
No, that's fine.
I'm sorry,
No,
I don't mean to throw everything off track.
No,
You're fine.
Just he's the most.
No, I get it. They're gonna
certain characters to me.
They have the best opportunity right now to fix those problems, and if they don't, then I don't know what the hell's wrong with them. But yeah, they got a perfect opportunity to do it. So yeah, maybe he's just happy to be alive again, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna be happy now. I deserve that because I was dead.
I'm gonna take a swing and say, if they're playing it smart in the way that it looks like they're doing it,
mm-hmm.
I think they're not going to even have Superman show up until near the end of the movie.
Yeah, a lot of people are thinking that too.
Obviously, I haven't seen the movie. Yeah, I think he's just going to be there for the last 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
I think they're trying to establish the other characters before they even get towards Superman.
A lot of people probably are not going to like that, but again, I don't want it rushed, him coming back, because there could be really some good storytelling there or reasoning why he's coming back. Not just he's back, just really no explanation. So, it would suck, but you don't want a 5-hour movie right now. You need to keep it a little short.
They have an ability to do that over there at DC.
Mm-hmm.
These Batman, Superman things.
Right.
10 hours later, remember Martha? The hell? Your mom's name is Martha. I'm not going to kill you. You're trying to kill me with some kryptonite. We share the same name. As if both of their moms are named Martha. That's it.
Yeah.
If I'm pissed off at a guy and he says, because remember Juana. My mother's name is Juana. And I'm like, I will. After
I will. Goodbye.
What does that got to do with me finishing the job with my X-ray vision, bro? That got nothing to do with it. I'll call my mom. Mom, I had to kill Batman. Oh well. You make a meatloaf? Great. I'm on my way. It doesn't take me very long to get to Kansas City from here.
Right.
The hell? Remember Martha? That movie. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You guys opened up another door in me with this DC thing.
Well, yeah, we'll definitely need to get your reaction to Justice League when it comes out.
Yep.
It's just so many things that makes zero sense in there.
I know.
It's kind of last thing I'll say about it. Another franchise, the Matrix franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So, Matrix 2 was my favorite movie of the Matrix franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So, Reloaded was awesome. But they had to put this weird rave scene in there of dancing in Zion.
Oh, yeah. That was the weirdest thing ever.
What? Wait, why? And why is it 20 minutes long?
Yeah.
I've never said in the movie.
I like Morpheus too.
You never seen it?
I like Morpheus too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just did the speech, and now they're dancing to Zion. They could have made that thing like 30 seconds top.
You know, and I've never
Like,
said...
they're dancing to Zion. So the same thing he did in Batman versus Superman. He's like seeing Lois, and he's just getting home from work. Why Superman has to work is still ridiculous to me. But he's getting home from work, and she's taking a bath, and he gets in the bathtub with his clothes on. Like, huh? Why are you doing that? Like, you don't need to do that. You know, you're Superman. You're fucking fit, bro. You're fit. You look great. Pretty sure you have a super everything.
Well,
you know,
there's a backstory there. You know, the first Man of Steel, he's finding his way. You know, had all these jobs. I think he probably was a stripper at one point, and he just likes to tease. So that's what it was all about. You know, that's fan fiction I just made up. So there you go.
Superman's backstory. His dark period. Now we know why he doesn't smile.
Comic book. Superman is strip years. Superman is stripper years.
Or better yet, he was a porn star.
You know,
he just get in the tub.
Magic Mike edition.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's hovering over chicks, slapping them with his super dick. That's great. That is good writing.
Yeah, there you go. It's free, Warner Brothers. It's free for people who want it.
Lost years.
They're going to steal so many ideas today. We already know it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just put the check in the mail.
Yeah,
and we're all happy.
Right.
Put the check in the mail.
Well,
okay. Sorry, Josh.
No, that's okay.
Off track. Part, bro.
No, hey, it's all good. It's all good.
I apologize. On this note, I have to go. I drive for a limo company part time, so I sincerely apologize. I don't mean to throw anything off, but I got to go.
No, you're fine.
They called me in early, so
you're great, brother.
Very nice meeting you, Juan. Hopefully we'll have you back on here shortly. Loved and enjoyed talking to you. So you guys take care.
Same to you. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too, bud.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
You know, Hellboy, they're remaking that. I don't know if you heard. David...
no, I didn't know.
You didn't know that? Yeah, they're revamping Hellboy again. They rejected the Hellboy 3 concept because Del Toro wanted a lot of money to tell a final epic story. So, yeah, they're just going to reboot it. And they got David Harbour, who's a up-and-coming big actor. He was on Stranger Things. He played the sheriff. I don't know if you've seen that show, but... He's a big guy. He's a tall guy, and yeah, I think he'll make a good Hellboy. He's got a good face, and he's gotten Ron Perlman's blessing. Even though Perlman was bummed about the news, of course, I was too. I really thought they should have made a third one just to close out the trilogy and then reboot. But they've casted Ian McShane to play his father, his adopted father, Professor Broom. That character was previously played by the late, great John Hurt. The title has changed as well. They were going to call it Hellboy, Rise of the Blood Queen. Now it seems they're just going to settle with Hellboy, which I don't know why they're doing that, because, it kind of contradicts the other Hellboy, So they're going to call it the same thing.
Okay.
Which, kind of confused about. But last I knew, Mila...
That's creative.
Yeah, really, right? They should just call it Hellboy Rebooted or something. I don't know. Might as well.
What's the guy you said is going to play him?
David Harbour.
Oh, okay. I remember him. Okay, I see. I had to look him up. He's got the face for it.
Yeah, I think he could really pull it off. I see him playing Hellboy, so it's not a terrible choice at all. He's a younger guy, so that helps. Perlman's in his 60s now, so probably can't do a lot of stunts. Mila Djokovic, is that how you say her name? From the Resident Evil movies. I think she is going to play the Blood Queen. So it's not a terrible casting there either. This will be an R-rated film as well.
So I like that.
Yeah.
I think all good movies should be
rated R.
Rated. Just because there's no holding back. When you're censoring yourself. I don't believe in putting stuff in there just because I can put it in there. But I'm saying, like, if you have a vision in your head and someone says, hey, this is my vision, and I have to have this type of scene done this type of way.
Right.
And someone says, yeah, but we need you to kind of not say that.
Yeah,
you could say it like this. You know, there's a movie called The Doors. You ever see it, the band The Doors? They have a movie called The Doors.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite movies. But they are on the Ed Sullivan show, and the producer comes back and he's like, "Hey guys, love to have you. You guys are great. Saw your new hit, Light My Fire." He's like, "I was wondering," and all the other execs were curious, if you could turn that line from "Girl, we can't get much higher" to "Girl, we can't get much better." That'd be great. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, and he walks away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and then the band goes into their rant of like, "Oh, why we're going to compromise it?" But Jim Morrison obviously gave them the middle finger and said it anyways, which was racy as hell in that time period.
Right. Yeah.
Balls. Kudos to him. I love people that push the boundaries. The same thing I would say with R-rated. Like, it's not that I have to go out and start saying curse words and slapping old ladies through the whole movie. I'm just basically saying, like, when you censor yourself, you're pausing, you're taking something away.
Yeah.
You know.
I get that.
And I think that's what we had with Todd and Spawn when we were talking about Spawn earlier. Same thing with Todd.
Yeah.
He probably, with that first Spawn, he was just like, "You guys are killing me here." Like, I guarantee you. Like, that's nothing like what I was trying to go for.
If the source material is R-rated itself, I definitely believe in, like, you should keep it R-rated. But yeah, don't make something R-rated just because you want it to be, I guess. Like, it has to merit it to me, you know, like the material.
Bingo.
Yeah, the material. Because otherwise it seems juvenile, I guess. Just, you know, it's like you're a kid, like, "Oh, I'm going to curse," you know, and, you know, it's like, well, there's really nothing behind what you're saying. You're just saying it, you know, or showing it, whatever. But I think a lot of these new movies will take that approach, I hope. You know, I hope it merits it. You know, like another one, I don't know if you've seen the 2012 Dredd movie. Came out. It starred Carl Urban. That was a rated R retelling.
No, but I have to.
You do.
I mean, it was like, it was one of those things that went under the radar for me. I knew it existed, and every time I was like attempting to go and watch it, something else would distract me.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's not like I didn't know it existed. It's just, and I don't know how the promotion of that movie went, because I remember it was like, "You Judge Dredd. Get Judge Dredd now on video."
Yeah.
What?
It was just hard to market, I think. It's a dark and gritty movie. A lot of people didn't like the Stallone Judge Dredd movie, you know. You know, you have that going against it. It's gathered a lot of fans from home video. It's a cult classic, and
cult classic.
Yeah, a lot of people have been wanting a sequel made, but a lot of stalling, you know. I think negotiating and the money, because the first one didn't make a ton. They have announced months back that they were going to make this Mega City 1, which is going to be a TV series, kind of like a interconnecting of the world itself with, you know, the judges and, you know, like criminals or side characters. But Carl Urban recently was talking about this show, and he said that he is in discussions with them about it, and he told them that if they write the material and give Dredd something to do and give him a function, he'll be there and he'd love to do it. So a lot of people are like, this is probably the closest we're going to get to our Judge Dredd 2. So, you know, it makes me more happy for the Mega City 1 series they're going to do. And I think they could really make it look just like the 2012 movie did. You know, it was dark and gritty and had a simple plot. It's just a fun movie. It's a lot of people compare it to The Raid. He kind of gets trapped in this big complex and he has to get himself out of it. It's really a good movie.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's a simple.
I'm gonna probably watch it today. There's a 99% chance I'll probably watch it today.
Like, do that.
I have to see it. Judge Dredd. I actually like the Stallone version. I'm that cheesy guy. Like,
yeah,
I am the law. You know, I like that. It was entertainment. Like those old Stallone and like Demolition Man and old Schwarzenegger movies from the late 80s, 90s. I like those movies. They just entertain me. They were built to be that way. I'm not going to take it too serious. You know? Like Demolition Man, they had Taco Bell advertisements through the whole freaking movie. I already know. It's BS. I know you're selling me some BS. It's fine.
Right.
I came into it not expecting to be enlightened. Just Dredd changed my life. It's not that. But this right here sounds like it would be fun. I've seen enough previews. I get the gist of it, and you just gave me a better idea of what it's going to be like. So I'm actually really excited to see how it's going to go down. I like the character Judge Dredd a lot because he's the judge, he's the law, he's the jury, he's the
executioner.
Cop. He's pretty much your whole judicial system put together, correct?
Yep, exactly.
In one person.
Exactly. Yeah, this recent movie is a lot better with the source material, I think. And yeah, I do have a liking to the Stallone one. I put it on like a month ago or so, just to have on, and before I knew it, I watched the whole thing, So, I mean, yeah, it's got problems, but it's a product of its times. And, the budget was huge for that movie versus this 2012 budget. His armor is not as flashy, I guess you would say, but it's also the narrative of the movie. It's a dark world, but it's still cool what they were able to do. He's still on his bike and stuff, and he's still got a cool gun that can do all the functions, that Stallone's gun could do. And yeah, it's just a really good movie. And I think this TV show could really be something. These streaming shows now, like Netflix and Amazon, they really go there. They're not restricted by the the prime time model. So, they can curse and pretty much do all they want to do. So they can definitely mimic what the movie did, special effects wise too, because the movie didn't have a huge budget, I don't think. It really worked. It's a great movie.
Sometimes you don't need to spend a lot of money.
No, you don't.
You can make a lot of something out of nothing, and it requires the people that are creating the product to be more creative instead of relying on CGI effects, certain things like that. One thing I really appreciate, I got to see behind the scenes on the reboot of the Star Trek series. Started back up,
right?
And they were saying the director, I don't know if he was really gung-ho about creating the environment. Like putting these little scratches on the ship, creating the ship instead of trying to make it like something in the background that CGI is put in there, and like giving it this kind of grit. And that there alone is impressive to me, and it's I appreciate that. Someone being an artist,
sure, of course,
trying to give you a visual that's realer. That's the kind of real that if I want it, I want that from DC. We were talking about DC earlier.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. Real, like that looks like the streets. That looks like this. That looks like that. Instead of like you trying to embellish it a little bit.
Right. It's got
Tim Burton's a whole different animal. Like, there's a Tim Burton thing. That he has his own universe. He has a signature look. So outside of him, like I like that whole like idea of approaching it that way. So the fact you're saying they didn't splurge and go crazy with a big budget, and it's still, would you consider it a good movie?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that intrigues me. I'm excited to see it because I do like the character Judge Dredd. Now, I know there's a comic book of Judge Dredd. Who runs that? Who is that? Just some independent comic book company like Spawn, or is it?
Yeah, I think
under Marvel.
Yeah, I don't know offhand, but yeah, it's not a big company. It's not a Marvel or DC property. I am not sure exactly who ran it, But it was like it was its own company long ago, and that's basically what I think that's their biggest character from that from that company. But yeah, he's not like a DC or Marvel property. He's just kind of an indie property. I don't know if you would call it that or not, but it's really a cool character, and yeah, the movie did justice to it, I think. And you just have to have a good story, and it just kind of did the Deadpool route, except it wasn't as successful. It might have cost a little bit more than Deadpool did, but yeah, it's dark and gritty, and the special effects are pretty good. Yeah, it's just a simple story. It's not like a huge, they're kind of in one location in the movie, so, but it's cool. It's dark. It's very dark. You'll see. It's pretty cool, though. But yeah, that Mega series, that Mega City one should be pretty damn good, I think, especially if Carl Urban's going to be in it, because he did a great job as Dredd, and I think you kind of need that connection, at least have him in a few episodes or so, and then you could take him out or whatever, because he's a movie star too, and so he doesn't have I don't think he has a huge opening in his schedule, but he might. Who knows? I mean, I think he's very passionate about the character, so he's kind of like the Hugh Jackman for Dredd, maybe.
I like when certain people establish themselves as certain things. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's going to be hard for whoever to become the next Wolverine to establish themselves, because Hugh Jackman is 10 plus years deep as Wolverine. Mm-hmm. That's it's going to be hard shoes to fill for the next person who takes on the mantle as Wolverine, because Hugh Jackman has established that for over 10 years.
Right.
As that character. He's Wolverine. That's the only Wolverine we know. And he's, been consistently good at it, in my opinion. Like, if he went out in style, Logan might have been one of the best comic book movies ever, but it didn't come off like a comic book movie. It came off like a real movie. It had a lot of emotion in it. It had a lot of realness. You saw Professor X towards his end, which makes me think, well, no matter what future Wolverine goes into, everyone dies.
Yeah. Yeah, like Logan was its own, it was like a one-off, really. Like, it wasn't trying to be an extended universe type of movie. It wasn't trying to satisfy canon, I guess you could say. It was its own thing, and I think that's what people really liked about it. It's kind of like a old way of telling a superhero story now. It's like they're one-off movies. They're not trying to, set up anything other than just telling a simple story, I guess, and he wanted to go out on top, and I think he pulled it off pretty well. That was a great movie. So yeah, I think those type of characters need to have those type of movies, those stories, and they can cross over into a lighter world, let's say, with Wolverine with X-Men I'm referring to. But yeah, Wolverine on his own could be just, dark and gritty like they treated it, and it had some humor in it too. It wasn't all gloom and doom. It had some uplifting moments. So yeah, I think they're finally harnessing this proper way to tell certain stories for darker characters, rather than try and making them something that they're not. Like we were talking about earlier, the Spawn and Batman, they're trying to kind of make them similar in a little bit, playing it safe, I guess. I don't know. Spawn could have been a lot more darker and grittier.
I think with that type of thing, I think studios, because let's be real, studios in general, especially the big ones, your Sonys, your Universal, your, I guess you could say Disney, Warner Brothers, all these big studios, they see something work, and they're like, oh, that profited very well.
Yeah.
All right, we need to do the same thing, and you follow that formula. They do the same thing in music. Oh, that's the new hit song, that's the new hit sound. Okay, let's mimic that sound and do it again. Mm-hmm. Right. And they're not seeing, they can give in not all cases, but in a lot of cases, they can give a damn about the creativity part of it, letting it be what it be. They're just looking for the next way to mimic that to profit off of it.
Yeah, and they'll force whatever material is coming, they'll force it to be lined up with what's hot, what's hitting right now, and the property will suffer from it. So, like you said, it's all about the material and the creativity. You know, if it happens to start looking like it could be this or that and actually, you know, make sense, then I think that's the way to do it. But yeah, you can't force something to, you know, be dark or light. You know, it's kind of just has to kind of be on a certain path, and then you can choose, you know, the proper direction it needs to be distributed to the world, you know.
I know this is not going to happen, but I think it would be ideal if there was a studio that turned out just comic book movies, and it was ran by people who understood comics, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, that's the perfect world. I mean, like, and they're really wanting to take, like, if Comic-Con had its own production studio.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, hypothetically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That kind of approach. Like, outside of Marvel and DC, I love Dragon Ball Z.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love for someone to really grasp that world,
Mm-hmm.
and bring it to the screen. They did it without Toriyama's, I think without his permission, back in like the early 2000s, and it was a horrible movie. You know, it had one of those weird, like, kind of dance scenes like you would have in like The Matrix, and I couldn't watch it all.
Yeah,
I couldn't watch it. I haven't saw it from start to finish. I can't do it. I wanna.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Right.
It makes no sense. Like, but, and I think Spike, from the guy that plays Spike from Buffy and the Vampire Slayer, I think he plays Piccolo, like King Piccolo. But
Oh,
that's
really?
another story. I think he's the guy.
Yeah.
I can look it up, but I think, which was interesting. But yeah, like, you could tell there was someone saying, "Oh, here's a cash grab where I'll take this little franchise I see on TV, this little cartoon, and I'll make it into a movie and make some money off of it." Not really doing the research, the time, putting the effort towards these characters, you know, not giving them
Mm-hmm.
substance.
Right.
Goku is probably my favorite hero of any franchise, of anything. He's probably there. It's him, the Hulk, but it's probably Goku. Yeah, and to see him depicted like that bothers me. So when with all these new films and things like that, I love what Marvel Universe is doing with their characters. I like how they're developing them.
Mm-hmm.
And different studios like that. So with the whole Judge Dredd thing, you know, like giving someone the ability to bring their creativity to the table and understand they're really getting into the character. I don't know how much in this the new Judge Dredd.
Oh yeah, Mega City
movie.
1. Mega City 1.
Mega City, yeah. So the Mega City one, I don't know how much they go into the storyline of who Judge Dredd is, his backstory or anything like that.
Right.
But the way you make it sounds like he's the man. Like he goes right into the thick of it. Weren't they supposed to revamp Ghost Rider?
They kind of did, actually. They used a different Ghost Rider in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. last season. It actually was great. The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. got to go on an hour later, so they could go a little darker, not be so family-oriented. Not to say they were, but, you know, they kind of played it safe a little bit. But, yeah, this new Ghost Rider was really cool. He was like a Latino dude, and he drove a car. That was his, his transportation. Actually, was really good. The special effects were pretty damn good, I think. Like, I watched the first episode of last season, and yeah, he like takes a dude out, and there's like a blood splatter all over this car from it. And I was like, oh man, this is different. that was kind of a light reboot. I mean, it was just a different Ghost Rider character, but yeah, I think they've been talking about the Nicolas Cage one he played.
Johnny Blaze.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yep. I think they're going to, yes, they will revamp that eventually, I think. Because I think Marvel Studios.
I like the one you're describing better. I think the motorcycle thing's kind of hit or miss.
Yeah.
It'd be great in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
like,
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's something about it.
Yeah.
Some things might need to stay in the comic book. But Ghost Rider with a car sounds
it's like
more like doable. Like I can pull it off. I'm talking to a guy with a flaming head.
Right. Yeah.
And
yeah.
It's an interesting thing. Yeah. Well, I was actually going to refer to the Nicolas Cage version, and it's one of those things where it's like it just felt like someone was trying to rush it out there. Like, okay, comic books are good again. They did the same thing with Daredevil with Ben Affleck. And they had one of those cheesy scenes with, I think they were on a seesaw with Elektra.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Oh my God.
That first one was a mess, that Nicolas Cage one. He was just too damn old, I think, for the part. And I think it's because we've already gotten 2 movies of that character, that type of Ghost Rider. The comics came along and made a new Ghost Rider for us, and that's the one that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. used. And, it's more, well, I guess it's probably easier to film. You don't have to worry about stunt guys, falling off bikes. They have a little bit more protection in the car, and it's pretty badass.
You can run people over, man.
Yeah. It's a GTO, I think. The engine like lights up, and I'm telling you, for you guys see Dredd, you guys see that for sure, that movie, and you guys see at least the first episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 4, and that's on Netflix. That's the introduction.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, that's the introduction to Ghost Rider. That type of Ghost Rider, and I think they really could run with him for a while, and then we could go back to the Johnny Blaze. Maybe retell that. The follow up to the movie itself with Nicolas Cage, that kind of retold the origin as well. It's very weird, but that movie was a mess.
Was there a part 2?
There was. Yes, there was.
There was a part 2.
Yes.
See, I didn't know this.
Yeah,
I did not know this. Was he in part 2?
Yes, he was. Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't as
it went under the radar. I never knew.
It wasn't.
I thought it was only that one.
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to remember what it was called.
They didn't do a lot of time They didn't spend a lot of time promoting it then. I had no clue it existed. Maybe that's a good thing.
Well,
maybe that's a good thing.
It had some moments to it. I did fall for the advertisements, and I went to go see it, and they revamped the character. Yeah, it was called Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. So it's not necessarily a part 2 per se, because they retell the origin in the beginning of it, and they kind of change the origin a little bit. So that first movie could just be really rejected from the canon, It was directed by the those guys who did the Jason Statham movie that was crazy. Crank. Yeah, it was the.
That movie's awesome.
Yeah, it was it was the cinematographers who did Crank. They directed this movie, I think, and yeah, it's got a lot of cool visuals. Nicolas Cage kind of he just shouldn't be. He's just too damn old, and I don't know it. I think if you would have cast someone else in the part, it would have been a little bit better received. But Idris Elba, he was in it. He was like this. I'm not sure what the hell he was, but yeah, I don't know. It's not terrible, but yeah, it's definitely kind of a mess. But yeah, check it out if you haven't seen it. It's not. Yeah, it's. I think it's better than the first one in many ways. That first one just, it was just very glossy, and it wasn't. I don't know. It was just falling.
Is he technically a hell spawn? He's not dead though.
No.
I mean, the character himself, Ghost Rider.
He's possessed, I think.
His dad still owe the devil, and so since he owed the devil, like I don't really know Ghost Rider like that. I actually have never read a Ghost Rider comic book.
Oh, I haven't
only
either.
know some of them.
Yeah, I haven't either. Yeah, it's just like he makes a deal with the devil, and the devil screws him over, and yeah, he's like possessed by.
Oh yeah, he makes a deal with the devil, and since he does, the devil has a cost, so he takes his dad.
His dad was dying of cancer, I think, so he made a deal with the devil.
So he healed him, and then his dad still died from something else.
Yeah, the devil actually killed him, I think. The devil killed him in a stunt
Accident.
he did. Yeah, but like the devil like screwed him over, basically. He's like, oh yeah, I'll cure him of cancer, but I will kill him, and you'll be stuck with your debt with me. So,
yep.
Yeah.
He wanted to hire him.
The new Ghost Rider, I think, has I think he's made a similar pact. I think he's got a brother who's paralyzed, maybe, and I don't know. I didn't watch all of the season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I will say, like, watch that first episode. It was great, and anytime he pops up, it was really good. I was really blown away. I was surprised because I really thought it was not going to be good, when they said he was going to be on the show, and I was just like, ugh, I don't know about that. But yeah, that season's awesome. So that's on Netflix. Check that out. At least the first episode. I think you'll be blown away, and you might end up watching the whole thing. So
they should do a movie. They should do a movie about the devil granting all these different beings power, and those beings always find a way to turn against the devil. Like, man, you don't really have a good track record. All these guys maybe need to work on a pension plan or something. So they don't, like, because he's always granting someone like, I want you to work in my army, Spawn. I want you to work for me, Ghost Rider, and they all turn on him. Like, come on, man! Like, get one that's like down the ride with me. I'm like,
he needs a publicist.
I'll give you a soul. I'll give you a soul for every soul you bring me, like a half a soul or something. Like, work out an agreement or something. Like, you guys are screwing me or something. Like, I'll bring your cousin back to life if you just, kill this whole country for me.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, he needs to work on that.
Yeah.
I don't think
he's not got a good track record.
No, he doesn't.
Every time you hear about the devil giving someone some powers, they always find a way to turn on him. The devil's got to be like, you know what? Hey, not really winning here.
They need to go on strike.
I get the whole good and evil dynamic, but like you got to have someone. Oh well, clown from Spawn.
Yeah.
He's down.
Right.
But you might turn on him too.
Yeah, anything's possible. Yeah, it's it's kind of a flawed thing. It's been told several times, but
he's consistently doing stuff like that. Like, hey, I'm going to grant you these powers, and I didn't get you powers that can kick my ass.
This ends part 1. Please join us for part 2. Take care.